If you're in the market for a new iPhone in 2023, do yourself a favor and cross the iPhone 5 and Phone 5C off your shopping list. Buying one of these devices might be tempting, but the iPhone 5 isn't a top option for those looking to save some cash or pick up a phone with a 4-inch display. If you have your eyes on the iPhone 5 or the colorful iPhone 5C, you're better off going in another direction. Here's why. Software support. In 2017, Apple stopped providing software updates for the iPhone 5 and iPhone 5C. Both smartphones are still running iOS 10 and won't be updated to iOS 11, iOS 12, iOS 13, iOS 14, iOS 15, iOS 16, or Apple's future iOS 17 version. This has very significant ramifications. You won't get features from iOS 11, iOS 12, iOS 13, iOS 14, iOS 15, iOS 16, or any other planned iOS updates from Apple if you purchase the iPhone 5. This might not seem like a big deal, but keep in mind that you'll also miss out on other things. Apple will no longer provide official bug fixes or security updates for these devices. You might be able to handle a few issues, but you should be concerned about the lack of security. Apple products are not impervious to vulnerabilities. This alone should make you consider switching to another iPhone or an alternative if you keep important data on your phone. Performance. We used the iPhone 5 for several years and every iOS upgrade that Apple made available for it. Overall, our experience was positive, although as the gadget neared its end, performance began to sag, although we had a pleasant experience with iOS 10. Our iPhone 5 did occasionally have issues when used as a daily driver. It was exceedingly sluggish and irritating in the end. There is no way to upgrade to a newer version of iOS or roll back to an earlier version. You're forced to accept the performance you receive. You might get good use out of the iPhone 5 at first if it has a clean setup, which is what you're looking for. However, if you gather more images, apps, and other data over time, your experience will almost surely start to worsen. Although it's a tremendous hassle that takes a long time, wiping the phone and restoring it from a backup will always be an option if the phone becomes inoperable. This is especially true if you have to repeat the task repeatedly. Now that the phone is so old and iOS 10 is functioning so poorly, it would probably be wiser to spend the money on a more advanced, functional model. Fortunately, you have a lot of choices. Battery options. Your best option is Apple's iPhone. Say if you're set on getting an iPhone and you really want the 4-inch display, the 4-inch Retina display, low price, and improved overall performance of the iPhone are made possible by its processor, RAM, and cameras. Additionally, it will receive software support going forward. Make sure to look at Apple's 4.7-inch iPhone 2 if you're not committed to the 4-inch display. Like the original, it has more firepower and is incredibly affordable. If the iPhone or iPhone 2 aren't your thing, you should also consider the iPhone XR, iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 7, iPhone 7 Plus, iPhone 6 South, and iPhone 6 South Plus. Not to mention the staggering number of Android phones available for less than $100. You can obtain a fantastic Android device. Although we enjoyed using the iPhone 5, we recommend avoiding it in 2023. You can find a new device much more effectively without going over budget.